In this video, I'll be talking about how you guys can save money on taxes from your 401k by doing a Roth IRA conversion ladder. And I'll be explaining how this all works and how you can save a ton of money and how you can actually pull money from your 401k early without paying any fees or any penalties for doing so. So if you have a 401k or you plan on getting a 401k anytime soon, you definitely need to watch this video so you can learn about the Roth IRA conversion ladder and how this can help you to save money on taxes and also pull money from your retirement account early in the event that you want to retire before the age of 59 and a half. Because if you have a 401k, then you have to hold the funds in that 401k until you are 59 and a half. And if not, you have to pay fees and penalties. So with that said, be sure to stick around to the very end of this video. And before we go any further into the Roth IRA conversion ladder, we will be kicking this video off with a $100 giveaway. 4 lucky winners, 1 winner each week of $25. And all you have to do for a chance to win is to drop a comment below and hop on over to my website and subscribe with your email address. Link down below in the description, as that's how we'll be announcing the winners every single week. Also, if you are new to the channel, my name is Ian, and on this channel, I talk about ways to make money, ways to save money, ways to invest your money. Of course, I talk about bank accounts and credit cards and everything to do with personal finance. So if you like these videos and you like these types of topics, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a ton. And also subscribe with all the notifications on, and that way you'll never miss the updates of when I post new videos, which is every single day on this channel. So let's jump right back into the Roth IRA conversion ladder. And first of all, we'll be talking about the 401k, because this is a video about converting your 401k by using the Roth IRA conversion ladder method. And the problem with 401k plans is that whenever you invest in your 401k, you'll be taxed at the end when you withdraw all that money from the 401k. And you're also not able to touch the money in your 401k before you're 59 and a half. And if you do, you'll pay the taxes and you'll also pay penalties because you're withdrawing that money early. So to get access or early access to your retirement savings or retirement investments, you'd have to have a Roth IRA, which allows you to take the contributions or that money that you contributed to it after you have invested that money for at least 5 years. Now, this is very important, especially if you're planning on retiring early or if you think that is something that will happen for you, because if you retire at the age of 40 or 50 or even before and you have a 401k, you're gonna be hit with a lot of penalties on that money. And if you have that money in a Roth IRA, then you can actually pull money without paying the penalties. So the Roth IRA conversion ladder comes in because you can't go directly from a 401k to a Roth IRA. Instead, you have to move the money from your 401k to a traditional IRA and then keep that money in the traditional IRA, and then you can move that money or convert it from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA later on. So the steps to pull this off are in this order. The first thing that you need to do is to calculate your yearly expenses, and this is how much money you will need per year to live in your early retirement that you were planning. Now, secondly, you need to build up some savings because you need to have enough money saved up to cover you for the first 5 years of the Roth conversion ladder. Now, thirdly, you will then open the IRA or the traditional IRA account and then the Roth IRA account, and you move the money from your 401k to the traditional IRA and then keep the money there until you're ready to convert it to the Roth IRA. Also, another tip here is to use a spreadsheet because this will make everything very easy for you in terms of planning and tracking the numbers to make sure it all works. Now, a quick example just to make some more sense of this. Let's say you realize that you want to retire at the age of 50. You also realize that you need $40,000 in tax-free income to live per year in your early retirement. So 5 years before you retire at 50, which is 45 years old, you can begin making the annual Roth IRA conversions. Now, each year that you make the contribution or the conversion, you pay the taxes on the amount converted, and that's why it's important for you to figure out how much money you'll need per year, because you don't want to convert too much at once, because that will actually raise your annual income for that year, which may put you in a higher tax bracket and cost you more money on taxes. And so if you're planning on doing this, you need to do a lot of research, or I would say talk with a CPA and make sure that they take a look at your entire financial situation, and then they can advise you as best as possible. But this is a really good loophole to get you to early retirement and get you to access your retirement investments before you get to 59 and a half years old. So in this example, if you started doing this, you would be able to withdraw the $40,000 per year starting at 50 years. And then you could do this until you got to the age of 59 and a half, when your regular 401k investments will be eligible for withdrawals. So it's just a way of getting you to retire early with having access to those retirement investments or savings without paying these heavy penalties and fees. Now, ideally here, what you want to do is you want to contribute to your 401k plan, and you want to contribute so you can get the maximum match that your company or your employer is giving you. So if your employer is giving you a 4% match, then you want to contribute the maximum amount to get that 4% match so you can get all that free money. Now, once you're done getting that match, any money that you have left over that you need to invest, you should open a Roth IRA account and start putting that money into that Roth IRA account. And by the way, guys, the Roth IRA only works if you're making less than around $130,000 per year. And so if you're making more than $130,000 per year, and this may change depending on the year, but if you're making more than that amount, you won't be able to qualify for investing or opening a Roth IRA, and you'll have to go with the traditional IRA instead. So now you're contributing to the 401k plan and you get the match, and then you contribute to either the Roth IRA or the traditional IRA, or even both if you're eligible to open both. But just remember, the limit is around $6,000 per year, and this is for both the Roth and the traditional IRA accounts. So you can't go over that limit. And so if you have more money after maxing that limit out, you can put the rest of that money in your 401k, because you can contribute up to $19,500 to a 401k plan per year. Now, when you're ready to quit your job and go into early retirement, you will move your 401k over into the traditional IRA without any taxes or penalties. But before you get the actual cash in hand, you have to convert that or some of that money to the Roth IRA, which you can also do without any penalties, but you'll now have to pay taxes and then wait 5 years to access that cash. Now, this still saves you money on taxes, because when you roll this money over or you do this conversion, this will be taxed as normal ordinary income because you didn't pay taxes on that 401k before. So the best way to do this is in a way that doesn't increase your annual income by too much and puts you in a higher tax bracket. So you should do this in small amounts, probably $40,000 per year or thereabout. You can consult with your CPA and figure out what number is good for you. And this way you don't increase your tax bracket too much, so you don't pay more money in ordinary taxes, or this conversion doesn't end up costing you too much. Also, remember to have some savings on the side that you can use to pay the taxes on this money that you're going to be converting, because you don't want to pull money from the actual investments to pay the taxes, as that is going to lower the amount that you have converted, which affects compounding, which can seriously slow down the rate at which your investments will continue to grow. So as always, this may sound really good, but I tell you guys the good and the bad. So there are a few cons here, and the first con is that you have to wait 5 years before you can pull this money out of the Roth IRA. So if you do this conversion today, you'll have to wait until around 2026 before you can actually pull this money from the Roth IRA. So you definitely need to start doing this at least 5 years before you know that you actually need this money for your early retirement. Now, the second con here is that you need to have some income before you get to that 5 year, or while you're getting to that 5 year mark. So maybe you'll still have to work a job or something else, but you'll need to have some money to live on within that 5 year period. Now, if you really just want to quit and you're tired of working, then you could get a part-time job just to get you through those 5 years, or you could start investing some money in a regular brokerage account, and that way you'll have access to that money at any time. So the main idea here behind the Roth IRA conversion ladder is that you can have early access to your retirement investments even if they're in a 401k account. Now, I want you guys to comment below and let me know what you think about this process. Do you think that is something that's actually good for pre-retirement or people that are planning on retiring early? And would you do this, or are you already planning on doing this? Now, before we end this video, there's actually another way that you can pull this off. We can actually avoid a lot of the taxes, or probably all the taxes, but you also get no tax benefits. And this is by going to your employer or whoever has your 401k plan and asking them to do the same match, but it's not doing it in a regular 401k account. Instead, you'll do a Roth 401k plan, and this is the same as the 401k, but as the name suggests, it's a Roth. So you're actually contributing after tax income, and you'll still get your 401k match, but you won't get the tax benefits of investing more money pre-tax. So if you do it this way, you can roll this money directly into a Roth IRA, which eliminates the process of rolling it into a traditional IRA and then into a Roth IRA, and you wouldn't have to worry about that 5-year time period. So there are methods to save money on taxes and also to avoid penalties and fees if you're planning on retiring early. And if you're really serious about this, I would advise you to sit with a CPA and let them go over your financial situation, and they can advise you as best. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you like the content, and if that is the case, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel with all the notifications on so you get the updates of when I post new videos, and be sure to check those links down below in the description where you can get free cash, free stocks, and other free stuff. And with that said, all the best, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next one.